Singapore, welcome to another edition of SG Sports Uncut. I'm Raj Kumar, and Uncut is the show that brings you closer to our Team Singapore athletes and coaches. With less than 2 weeks to the Southeast Asian Games, on today's show, we'll be speaking to our national sailors as well as our table tennis athletes. So in this first segment, let's catch up with our paddlers in Clarence, Koen, and Chua. Hi guys, welcome to episode 4 of SG Sports Uncut. Clarence, let's get this segment started. And just before we talk about the sport of table tennis, let's get to know the three of you a little better. I mean, for the sake of the fans, Clarence, which is your favorite movie of 2019 and why?
I think like many others, my favorite movie this year would be Avengers Endgame.
Alright.
Because I've always been a Marvel fan since young, so I've caught up with all the movies, and Avengers Endgame is like an end to this whole series along the years, so it's actually sad but nice to see it at the same time.
Yeah, I mean 22 movies, 10 years. So when you say you were sad, so what, did you tear up at the end? Did you shed a tear?
Silently, I guess.
Silently.
Yes.
So who in the whole universe, who is your favorite character?
My favorite character actually would be Doctor Strange, because I think it's very cool the way he wears his cape, and then like he can manipulate time and space. I think that's a really cool superpower.
Right.
If I can have it.
Oh wow. You never know. So, besides being an Avengers fan, are you also a Star Wars fan and waiting eagerly for episode 9? Because it's going to debut probably in about 1 month from now. And so, are you a fan?
Unfortunately, I'm not a Star Wars fan. I'm sorry, but
Okay.
yeah.
Then are you perhaps waiting for maybe Donnie Chang in Ip Man 4 or maybe Jumanji 2?
Yes, I think Ip Man 4 and Jumanji 2 are both very good movies that I'm eagerly waiting. So yeah, I hope to see them soon.
Okay. That was Clarence Chu. Let's hear from Koen. And are you into movies as well, or do you have a current favorite television show?
Don't really watch movies that often, but yeah, I'm sort of keeping up with the Americans Got Talent.
The American talent shows?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And then my movies, you can get
Yeah.
your information from him. So you're a fan of American reality television series? I mean the variety ones. So like what? You mean are you referring to like The Voice or American Idol? America's Got Talent?
America's Got Talent.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Really? Who would you say is your favorite judge in all the judges that have appeared?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't really have a favorite judge.
Oh, no?
Because yeah, I mean like usually focusing more on
The talents.
yes.
So based on what you've seen, which is the most interesting talent that you've seen on the series?
I mean, I really like watching those dance groups. One of them is the Indian dance group called The Unbeatable.
I know who they are. Yeah.
They, because of all the stunts they do, they usually inspire me.
Oh, nice. Okay. So is there another side to you that you're a dancer in your room or something? No. Okay. You never know. You're still young, man. Chua, let's get you into this segment. And what do you do for fun? Are you a food lover? Are you a gamer?
During my free time, sometimes I like to play games such as like Mobile Legend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like sometimes we play like as a team. So yeah, it's like kind of our bonding session too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You never know. Maybe the next SEA Games esports, your name might be there. But I believe you've also traveled quite extensively this year to compete. So which country was your favorite in 2019?
I think my favorite country was Sweden, because like at the time we went, it was like the early start of the year, so it was snowing over there.
Okay.
And it's like I kind of like the cold weather and like snow. So when it snowed over there, I was very happy.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think you and I share the same thing because my body is not made for this tropical heat. So Sweden was your favorite this year.
Yeah.
Did you get to go and see the ABBA museum? Were you told about it?
No,
There's a big ABBA. I mean, for those, Sweden is ABBA.
Yeah.
And
We couldn't go because like competition. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Didn't go there for the holiday. All right. Now that we are all warmed up, let's start talking about table tennis proper. Clarence, you didn't get to compete that much this year because you just finished 2 years of national service. I think about a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, can see the big smile on your face. How would you describe your NS term and the balance you had doing national service and also representing the country in table tennis?
Yeah, I think it wasn't easy because for the first 1 year plus, I actually wasn't able to travel for competitions, and like, I have to be in camp on weekdays, so I could only train on weekends like Saturday and Sundays. So like mentally and physically, it was pretty tiring in order to balance like both NS and training at the same time.
Okay. But in the second year, you were allowed to.
Yeah, second year I had more opportunities like to compete overseas as well as like half day off for training. So
Okay.
I'm very grateful for that because I'm able to like at least maintain my training.
You wanna give a shout out to your unit mates, or which unit were you, and the fact that they supported you.
I was in 12C4Is, like I was doing signals.
Signals.
Yeah.
Right.
So
okay.
yeah, I think my unit has been very supportive. So all my officers and sergeants, like, they really encourage me, and they let me off for training whenever they can. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, great stuff. So, which would you say was your most toughest moment of the year? I mean, like you said, this was your second year in national service and competing as well and
Yeah.
training. So, which was your toughest moment in 2019?
Toughest moment this year, I think, would be because my unit had a summary exercise somewhere around September. So like I wasn't able to compete in the Asian Championships like due to the exercise. So yeah, I mean that was a bit disappointing. But in NS, I mean it always units priority come first. So
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. Josh, what about yourself? I mean, did you have a good year leading up to the SEA Games, which is in about 2 weeks from now?
I actually had a kind of a tough year because transition from the youth team to the senior team. Yeah, so it's like the opponents that we faced were much stronger lah. And like we have to think of new tactics and ways to find out like what are their weaknesses and like to win points during the match, and it was quite tough lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what would you say was the biggest highlight of the year for you, either in table tennis or even in your personal life?
For me, maybe it was the Hong Kong trip for the junior and cadet competition.
This was in which month?
It was in August.
August, yeah.
yeah. We went there for under 18 competition, and we managed to clinch the title for the under 18 team event.
Right.
And that was the first team event ITTF competition gold for me. So I was very happy then, and yeah, very happy.
Nice. Koen was with you.
Yeah,
with
Koen
the-
was with me. Yeah.
Koen, so just from what he said, how did you feel about winning the team event?
I mean, there are different types of competitions in the under 18 event.
Mhm.
And there's the regular, there's the premium, and there's the golden. The golden is the highest, yeah. And then Hong Kong was the golden series. Yeah, so that was also my first golden series gold medal.
Oh, nice. Congrats to you both. But I have a feeling that your most memorable moment this year was when you found out that you are the new world number one in the under 18 category. New world number one in the under 18 category. What was your reaction when you became the first ever Singaporean to be number one in the under 18s?
I guess I was just very excited and happy that I was able to get to the world number one, and yeah, it's not a lot of celebrations, just more hard work to put in.
And what was the reaction from your family? I mean, you guys got to celebrate. And maybe you can tell us, how did you become world number one? Because
of that Hong Kong competition, the one we played, managed to get into the finals of that competition, and that gave me a lot of points to overtake the world number one.
Right. Okay, so now coming back to celebrations, family-wise?
Just had a celebratory dinner.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
not much else.
Okay. It's a start. Never mind. Still under 18. Clarence, let's take a look at some of the events you competed in the last few months, starting first with the German Open and the Polish Open. What was the experience competing in these ITTF tournaments, and how did you perform?
Because the German and Polish Open, they are all like very high level players there, and it's quite a high tier level tournament from ITTF. So yeah, my main goal there was to like just do my best and try to get more match feeling in preparation for like the upcoming tournament. So I think I performed quite well. Of course, there are still many improvements I can make, but I'll continue like training hard.
Okay. You also went to compete at the recent Indonesian Open. How would you assess your overall performance over there?
it was still decent, I guess. Like I guess for my singles event, I could have done better. So that's something I have to work on. But in the doubles, me and my partner Ethan, we actually almost made it to the finals. So yeah, I think that's something we can take back and then continue working hard for the SEA Games.
Okay. Koen, we come back to you. You went on to compete at the Commonwealth Championships in India 6 months ago. You won 3 bronze medals, namely in the singles, the doubles, and the team event. What was your initial target for this trip to India?
I mean that was my first Commonwealth Championships, and then the other countries mostly all sent their strong players, and I wasn't actually expecting much from that competition, but I managed to play very well there.
Okay. So, on the topic of being in India for the first time, I assume?
Second time.
Second time, okay. So, did you get to see or go and try the local food, go to a tourist attraction? No. No time?
No.
Wow. You went to Sweden, no time to. Wow, okay. Right. Okay, from India and 3 bronze medals. Of course, we spoke about this. You traveled to Hong Kong in July to compete, and you finished second in the singles division.
Yep.
You won the gold in the team, right? But how did you manage to finish second in the singles? How do you feel about it?
It was my second finals of that year, and yeah, I mean, I didn't manage to take that game down, but yeah, I'm still very happy with my performance because I've played a few very good games before the finals. Yeah, beating a few Korean players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We touched on the Hong Kong aspect, Josh, just a few minutes ago. But when you all were in Hong Kong, the protests were already ongoing.
Yeah.
Were you all keeping up with the information that was happening, or were you all solely focused on your campaign?
We were actually kind of worried, and our parents were very worried that we might meet the protesters and maybe
They might come to the stadium.
Then it's
Yeah.
very dangerous. So our coaches and everyone, we were told to be careful, and we only could take certain routes to the competition venue. We couldn't go anywhere else. We only can go to the competition venue or to our hotel.
Right.
Yeah.
And then having won the gold, was that the strategy from the start? Did you all feel confident you could go on to win the gold in the team event?
At the start of the competition, we were actually hoping a lot because the China players and the Japanese players, they didn't come for this competition. So there were only India players and Korea players. So we were kind of hoping that, or maybe there's a chance that we can go to the finals.
Right.
And we really made it into the finals, and we managed to clinch the title. So we were very happy for that.
Yeah, it's their loss. Your gain. Our loss, their gain. Our gain, their loss. Sorry. You won 2 bronze medals at the Commonwealth Championships in India. Were you satisfied with your performances, and was the bronze your initial target as well?
We kind of didn't expect the bronze, because as what Koen has said earlier, there were many strong players from other countries, such as India. They sent their top players, and it was very tough. But in the doubles event, we managed to get the bronze, as during the quarterfinals we played against previous Commonwealth Games bronze medalists from India, and Koen played with them once in the Commonwealth, for the bronze medal match, and he kind of knew what their tactics were. So before the match, he told me what we can do to make them feel more uncomfortable and not play their game, so that we have the higher advantage. And we managed to win that game 3-0 in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I think in the last 3 Commonwealth Games, or in the last 10 to 12 years, we've seen the Indians come out very strong in the sport of table tennis. Koen, we come to you again. As after becoming the world number 1 in the under 18, you went ahead to compete in Poland and Belarus. What were your results in those 2 European ITTF events?
My results were better than I had expected because the Poland and Belarus, they were for anyone to play. Adults could play that competition. So I was most of my matches were against adults, and they are definitely more experienced in the way they play. So I managed to win some of my matches, and I'm very happy with my performance in Belarus and Poland.
Nice. 18 years old, right?
17.
17. And 17, and he even had the chance at the age of 17 to play for the first time for a Polish club, professional club in their professional table tennis league. Tell us more about this initiative where you were in Poland for 2 weeks and you played for a professional club.
The feeling is definitely different from playing in Singapore because each match there's only one table and there's like probably 100 people watching you play for each match.
Just one table,
Just one
or
table.
100 people surrounding you and watching.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, it's a very different feeling of playing for the league and playing in other competitions.
Okay. And the name of this club?
It's somewhere in Rizzo. It's in Poland.
And you didn't go alone because you had a teammate, Ruishan. I think she's here.
Yes, but
Right.
we played for different clubs.
She played for a different club.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. And you played about 5 games, I believe. 5 to
I played 7.
7 games.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Clarence, it's no secret that Koen has looked up to you over the years as a sort of a mentor. I saw one photograph on the internet where he's literally looking up at you, I think in his younger years, and so how does it feel? I think it was on the cover of a magazine. Some magazine. So how does it feel to see him compete and represent a club in Poland about 1 month ago, and now he's the number one in the under 18 division?
Yeah, I think we're all very happy for him. I think it's a very great achievement. Like playing for a professional club is like a very good opportunity to train up your skills because like it's a totally different atmosphere from like your other tournaments. So I think it's a very good learning experience for him, and I'm sure like it will improve him a lot. Like personally, I ever had a chance to play for a club as well, so hopefully there'll be a chance soon as well.
Soon. You just finished your national service. The world is yours, man. I mean, possibly once you finish your studies, I think you're going back to
Hopefully.
complete your diploma. For you, it's a special because 9 years ago you competed in the very first Youth Olympic Games. That was the first time I met you as well. We did a radio show for a local radio station, and we did a live radio show in a shopping mall, Skate. Maybe next time will be you. He at 15 years old, he was sitting there and speaking live. So since the YOG, you've also won gold medals at various international games. I'm talking about at the SEA Games level as well as the Asian Games level, right?
SEA Games and Commonwealth.
Commonwealth
Yeah.
Games, I beg your pardon. Okay, so what advice would you give this young 17-year-old as he continues to create the headlines in the sport of table tennis?
Yeah,
Him and Josh as well.
Yeah, I think they have all the talent to succeed. So my most important advice to them would be to just to persevere and then to work hard on improving their own game. I'm sure the results will come.
And always maintain a level head on the shoulders.
Yes,
right?
definitely.
Yeah. Josh, in terms of competing, you also traveled to Poland and Belarus to compete in the ITTF sanctioned events. Can you sum up your performances over there?
My performance over there for doubles, I'm more happy with my doubles results. We managed to win a few strong players too, like Korea and India, and we narrowly lost to the champions of the team. Of the event, Argentina. Yeah, they won champion for that event, and we lost narrowly 2-3. So it was quite close lah. Like seeing them winning is we could have gotten the goal. And it was
Okay. And then at the recent Indonesian Open, were you contented, satisfied with your results over there?
I'm very happy with my results. For doubles event, we got top 8 and we lost to Hong Kong. And for singles, I lost to Japan for both events. And Japanese players are naturally very very fast in their game. So it's very tough for me. I have to keep running after the ball. So it's they keep making me run around. So it's very tiring. Yeah.
The first time I hear a table tennis player say running after the ball, because in my mind, usually it's the footballers who will say running after the ball. But I know what you're saying. We've seen how table tennis, the players can go as far as almost 2-3 meters away from the table and still return, the shot. It's amazing. Okay, now that we've covered your respective preparations to the SEA Games based on the last 6 months, Clarence, I understand you'll be competing in the upcoming Seamaster T2 Diamond Singapore 2019, which is taking place on November 21st to November 24th at our Tampines Hub. So it's taking place this weekend, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 21st to the 24th at OTH. 16 of the world's best men, 16 of the world's top women, so 32 of the best players will be battling for more than US $500,000 in this event. Clarence, you're a wildcard entry. How are you expecting to perform with less than 2 weeks to the SEA Games?
Yes, I think I'm very fortunate to be able to have this opportunity to play at T2 because like it's a world class event, so only the top players will be here. So yeah, I'm very happy to get this World Cup to play. So I think yeah, it'll be a very good experience playing against all these top players. So yeah, naturally I have no pressure against them. So I'll just try my best to do well in my matches.
Yeah. There's another Singaporean also competing, right?
Yeah,
In the women's.
yes, the women's event. There's I think Meng Yu and Tian Wei will be playing as well.
Okay. So the top other players that the fans here in Singapore can catch in action. Do you know some of the other names?
Yeah, of course. I mean, many world champions like Ma Long and Xu Xing from China, as well as rising stars like Harimoto from Japan, Ling Yuru from Chinese Taipei. I think they are all ones to watch out for, and I think like supporters who go down to watch will be treated to like very exciting table tennis.
So Ma Long is coming.
Yes.
Wow. Is he anybody idol? No? Ma Long? No. Okay. Koen, is this one of your targets to reach the near future, which is the T2 Diamond event?
Yes, of course. I really hope that I'll be able to qualify for this event one day.
Okay. And over the SEA Games, this will be your debut. How many events will you be competing in Manila?
I'll be competing in the singles and the doubles event.
Yeah, because there's only the singles and the
Yes.
doubles. Yes, right. Correct. What targets have you set for yourself, this being your first games?
I just set one target for myself, which was to win one gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Josh, this too will be your first baptism of fire as you compete at the SEA Games for the very first time. Which events are you competing in, and what are your hopes?
Competing in the doubles event, and I'm hoping that I can get a medal for it lah. But I hope that I'll be able to battle out for the gold medal also. But no matter what, I'll just try my best.
Okay. Who do you see as a potential main threat in your quest to win the doubles together with Koen?
Mainly players from Thailand, I guess, because they have been also coming out for many competitions to practice like their singles and doubles. Like and in the recent Indonesian Open, one of the Thailand players also went there to play,
Right.
and he got champion for the doubles event. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have to look out for them.
Okay. And Clarence, how many events will you be involved in?
Yeah, I'll be playing in the singles and doubles event as well.
Okay. And both, what do you think of your chances? Win both the singles and doubles?
I think it won't be easy. Like what Josh said, there's many strong opponents this time. But for me, I guess for the past few editions, I mean, I have bronze, I have silver, so I think there's only one left.
And and this time, I think you're the oldest among the four boys that are going, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah. So a bit more pressure. But overall, how do you feel about this young group of teammates that's going?
Yeah, I think youth is also an advantage. I think we can be fearless. We can just don't have too much pressure and then just do our best. To fight for each point against opponents, and I think we stand a good chance if we perform well.
Yeah. So just to recap, is 4 gold medals at stake, right? In this SEA Games, the singles and the doubles. No team, no mix, no nothing. Okay. All right then. I think we've come almost to the end of this edition of Uncut. But just before we say goodbye to our athletes, I believe that each of you has brought something that is special and significant to either your personal life or to your sport. Clarence, you want to get us going?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So here I have my gold medal from the 2015 SEA Games.
We just bring it up. 2015 SEA Games. Oh,
Yes.
4 years ago when Singapore hosted it. Okay.
Yes, it was in a men's team event. So actually in the finals, I was very happy when the coach told me I got the chance to play, because in my team there were many other better players, but I thank the coach for trusting in me. And also during the match, the team match, it was 1-1 and I'm playing the third singles, so it was really added pressure for me. I really want to do well for the team, and thankfully, like I managed to win the point and secure the gold medal.
Nice, well done. So you bring that to Manila with you?
Maybe I'll hide it under my bed.
Okay, good job. Koen?
I brought my first table tennis racket. It was my mom's, which was quite long ago.
You gonna hold it? Yeah. You call it a racket, not a table tennis bat.
It's a racket. You call it a racket.
You call it racket?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, you're saying this is because.
This was the first table tennis racket I probably ever held.
And which age did you get this?
I was like 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's 12 years ago.
Yep.
It still looks in pristine condition.
Uh,
You get a chance to, now and then just still use it?
Not really.
No? Okay. Okay, nice. And Josh?
For me, it's like a small racket that I bought in Shanghai last time when we were in primary school. And like the signature, like you can see the signature over here, which is actually Li Jiawei's signature.
So,
Yeah, Li Jiawei's signature.
Li Jiawei's signature.
Yeah,
Wow.
she came to my primary school, which is Catholic High Primary School, when like I was primary 6 or 5. Yeah, and she came there like to spar with some players, and I managed to spar with her. And she I asked her for a signature. Yeah, so she kind of inspired me to play better in overseas competition.
Nice. Wow. So you met Li Jiawei at a very young age.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. 3 very, heartfelt, very good stories. And on that note, we wish all 3 of you and the rest of your teammates as well the very best. Table tennis has always delivered for Singapore when it comes to the international games. So I'm sure the expectations are almost there. But I know with a relatively young team, you all will continue to do Singapore proud. Koen, Josh, Clarence, thank you very much for appearing on Uncut, and we wish you the very best for the Philippines and from 2020 onwards as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.